if you're not already sitting and you don't have a cozy spot, go find a cozy spot, grab a seat, maybe get yourself a drink, and let's have this nice little chat. All right. But I've seen this a couple times, and I've had this both in my chat. I've had this on TikTok. I've had this in all places. TikTok, chat, Discord, not quite Instagram yet. We're not big enough on Instagram yet, but the sentiment of one's sexuality changing with HRT. And if you don't know what HRT is, it's hormone replacement therapy. And, you know, just in case if we have people who don't know. So the thing about sexuality and hormones, we've had this conversation, I think, in like various other streams. Well, I've had this conversation in various other streams, but the thing about like sexuality with HRT is nothing changes really within your like preferences. What might end up happening is you might realize that you're attracted to others, another gender, more so than before, and that's mostly just because you've started to become comfortable with who you are. So if you are already like attracted, like, okay, as a trans femme, my attraction for women hasn't changed. I'm still, well, okay, it has changed, but it's different now. Like before, it felt like, I hate to admit that it felt like objectifying women, but it kind of did, because that's what I was taught, both from my parents and from like media. But nowadays, my attraction to women changed. Like it went from being like this like very male gazy, very objectifying of women, to a like more of an appreciation for women. Because like I was starting to notice not only changes within myself that was very positive, but also just like things and features of women that I just really appreciated, like how soft their skin is and how much I just like cuddling other women. It's like my attraction and like what I view to be more like, I'm trying to think of it like what I'm more attracted to has changed. And like I have more of an appreciation for various bodies and just how not every woman is the same. And it's kind of liberating, but also it's just very nice to like have appreciation for somebody else for just being them, rather than like finding attraction to somebody because that's what I've been told to find attractive. This morning I realized that my preferences were simply me bucking the system as a cis female growing up, and now that I'm being myself more and I'm on T and everything, I can be comfy being more gay and not just repressing my attraction to men because of Southern tradition and religious things. Like I wouldn't say it's the T that's causing me be more aesthetically into men, but as an ace guy, like, yeah, well, that's kind of just it. It's like the whole thing is like, it's not that the hormones change your interaction, like your preferences. It's more or less of like you become comfortable with who you are, and your attractions might change a little bit, or at least how you find your attractions to be. It could be simply just you find different appreciation within your attractions. You find that, you know, okay, so in my case, I might find men attractive, and it's not so much just like, it's like like for me especially, like a lot of my not attraction to men has been rooted in homophobia, because again, where I grew up and what I was taught, that was like what I had to deal with, and having to like unpack all of that and sorting through all of that, like I now have my feelings and emotions and my attractions to men has changed. It's still like I'm not attracted to men, but it's most just like I just don't have like, there's nothing that I can find attractive for myself that I can appreciate. But like I get it, you know, everyone has their different attractions. I see that message of I can just be more honest with myself. That's what it is really, is you're being more honest with yourself. You're finally having that conversation with yourself and, you know, discovering who it is that you like and what it is that you're really enjoying. And in all honesty, that makes you a better person. It really, honestly, it does. It makes you feel better. It makes you happier. And, you know, you're able to then just be that light for other people. So honestly, now that I've separated out gender envy from attraction, I'm less interested in women in a physical manner now. My attraction towards women is a much more gay way than a straight way, and I'm allowed to find dudes attractive now. Now that I am squashing that, the instant I have the slightest feelings towards a dude, I can just let it happen. Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's kind of just it too. It's like, it's the age-old question for trans people. Do you want to be them or do you want to be with them? Kind of situation. And the answer for me has always just, even like nowadays, is still, yeah, I both want to be them and be with them. Like, that's kind of how like I see things nowadays. So we did not feel comfortable with our sexuality before HRT, so we identified as ace. And now that we have been on HRT for 2 years, we are a lot more comfortable exploring our sexualities. Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's the other thing too, is like the whole thing with HRT is you know, you might find out that you're like an asexual person or an allosexual person, you know, depending on where you might side on that. And you end up finding out that a lot of your attractions come from society like pressuring you to be interested in a certain gender because that's the quote unquote norm. And it really isn't. It shouldn't be. Like, you should just be attracted to who you're attracted to if you're attracted to anybody at all. So I'm starting to realize that your aesthetic appreciation for dudes is actual attraction and not disguising it. Yeah, well, that's kind of just it though. It's just like over time, you as you become comfortable with yourself, you start realizing things, and you realize a lot of the things that you found as like aesthetic attractions or as physical attractions or like emotional attractions or romantic attractions might not still be those things. They might have been ways for you to have justified it for yourself in the time while you're still learning more about yourself.